Charles Dickens versus Neville Goddard? What? Keep watching as I get you right to the point, because this is going to be an interesting one, and you may be able to connect the dots and find a correlation. The other morning, when I was sitting on my couch, drinking my morning coffee, and surfing psychology articles, I came across one that piqued my interest in particular, and this was by Frontiers in Psychology. Things that I really found fascinating was the fact that Charles Dickens developed Oliver Twist, Ebenezer Scrooge, and pretty much the entire Christmas Carol that we still know today. And so Charles Dickens developed these characters and this novel with the state akin to sleep. I even read that he was so into this, he would make sure his bed and his head was facing due north, and he would lie on his back and try to maintain and stay in this state of hypnagogia while with his arms out holding a compass to make sure his head was always facing due north. That was completely mind-blowing. Reading through this article, it tells us that this state is useful for creativity and problem solving. This state is as close to REM or REM state that we can experience, or that the body can experience during deep sleep. The scientific term for this state that is associated to the state akin to sleep is called hypnagogia. Say it with me. Hypnagogia. And science refers to this as the transitional state of consciousness between wakefulness and sleep. Researchers and scientists tell us that people have been teaching about hypnagogia, or this trippy state between wakefulness and sleep, or sleep and wakefulness, for about 1,000 years now. The reason why we're able to gain more clarity and manifest things quicker during this state is because dreams favor creativity and problem solving. In the transition between sleep and wakefulness, the mind is free to create associations and assimilate information without the usual critical scrutiny of the awakening state. Here are a few other interesting facts that you may think may be coincidence, or you may think not. I'll let you decide to connect the dots. In 1837 to 1843, this was the period of time where Charles Dickens realized the power of the state of hypnagogia. In 1929 to 1938, Neville Goddard experienced the same thing. That was about 100 years apart. That's when they both realized the power associated with the state akin to sleep, or hypnagogia. Dickens passed away in 1870. Neville Goddard passed away in 1872. Now here's where this gets interesting. During this period of time, the United States was going through the Mexican War, and that was going on from 1840 to 1849. In addition, during this period of time when we were exiting the Mexican War, was coming out of the agricultural industry and moving into the industrial industry. And about 100 years later, we were going through World War II, and we were in the middle of the Great Depression. Poor economy when everybody band together, all industries, to help supply the needs of the war. That's what brought us out of the Great Depression. Now we're close to 100 years later, and the talk of this state akin to sleep, or hypnagogia, and the teachings of Neville Goddard have really gained a lot of popularity and a lot of ground here recently. What else is happening? Well, Russia's going to war with Ukraine, and other countries are, sounds like they're starting to get involved in that. And then we've been living in the golden age of our economy as it was. As we all know, what's happened to inflation and the price of everything. Pretty crazy. However, I'll leave that for you to connect the dots and see if you can, and if you think this is just coincidence or if there's something more to it. So what's amazing is that science backs this theory of the state akin to sleep. If you were wondering if this is real, it is, and science can prove it. However, they don't call it state akin to sleep. They call it hypnagogia. I'll link the resources on hypnagogia and the state akin to sleep that I found to create this video down in the description below. In addition, if you're looking for a life coach, need to feel a little bit more complete and fulfilled, or maybe you're a young individual trying to find your way into the marketplace, visit me at thehardknockstate.com. Sometimes just talking to somebody can help, and I'm here to help you achieve your goals.